Hi Leo, my ascendant brothers and sisters, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Leo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. Remember to use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you get a Human Design Oracle deck card. And that card is the Gate 23 and Assimilate. I love this card, right? So basically the message here is, as you can see the castle in the snow globe, dream big, but look for the steps or the moments. And if you haven't seen the weekly general, please check it out. Look for the steps so that you can assimilate fantasy with reality. This week you might even gain an intuitive insight, a download, or maybe you have from a conversation, you have an amazing idea. You're going to get this understanding of how you build the dream, how you bring something into actuality. It goes from being a concept, a dream, a hope, a wish, into being rooted or grounded into the practical or tangible reality. What I love most about this is as well, because you've got the castle in the snow globe represents the idea, the castle is the concept, and it's about finding a way to pull it out of that and bring it to ground. If you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. If you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. In all sectors of your life this week, the key to making these things that you want or that you envision for your life real is going to show up. All right, for our actions and options this week, my dear Leos, we get okay, the Fool card, right? So dare to dream big, right? The Fool card shows up. Yes, it's the cosmic reset, but here is your actions and options. This is about you leaping into life. It's about you taking that jump. It's about you saying, you know what? Okay, I'm going to throw caution to the wind and I'm going to jump in with both feet. This suggests to me, especially with the assimilate energy there is a lesson behind this, right? By taking a calculated risk or a well thought out leap of faith, this week you can truly get ahead. I absolutely love this as well because it's like you're working with destiny this week. You're stepping into it. You're, you know, as they say in terms of driving, steer into the skid, right? There's something about this where you're leaning in this week. For your communications and conversations, you have the Four of Swords. Your ideas, whatever they may be this week, are not for the sharing, right? So whatever your ideas, whatever your realizations or revelations are this week, it's not so much that, you know, it's not like, ooh, I've got to be a secretive squirrel. It's something me and my dad laugh about all the time. It's not that. It's just that the idea, the thing that you're working on or towards is not fully formed enough. And you know, your ideas are kind of like your babies. You know, it's when they say, like when women are pregnant, they say don't tell anybody within the first trimester. This is kind of like that. Whatever your ideas are this week, you're just starting to build them. You're just starting to create them. You're just starting to gestate them. And as such, it's important that you don't add other people's information, insight, input, interference, Mercury retrograde, you know, oh, you know, what if it doesn't work? What if it this? Don't allow anybody to sow seeds of discord or doubt into the things that are newly starting to become real for you, right? So that Four of Swords is don't speak about the things this week. Now, on different levels, for those of you that work for somebody else, I mean, with the Four of Swords this week, you could find that you are in that coast energy. You know, sometimes they talk about Leo energy being a little bit lazy. This week, you could find that you're taking more of a backseat when it comes to the team, when it comes to work. And it's not because you're being lazy, it's because you're so busy in the background working on your own stuff, right? Which is very exciting. When it comes to your physical health and that's the second time I've done that this week. When it comes to your business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this Four of Swords is you going back to the drawing board on something, right? It's not so much that it's not it's not so much that it's not good. It's just that it's not ready. It's not fully formed enough yet for you to release it out into the public. So whatever you're working on, keep doing so behind the scenes. I hear you, Tower. And then when it comes to your, those of you that are retired or no longer working, really, this week you are figuring out how to rest, how to get quality sleep, how to get quality of life, right? And sometimes that really is about doing nothing. It really is about taking your time to just observe where you are, what's going on, how you feel, all the rest of it. For your love and relations, you've got the Seven of Wands. For those of you that are partnered and in relationships, maybe your ideas, I mean, if you're partnered or married, you obviously want to share what you're doing, right? You've got the Seven of Wands, which does suggest the partner may not get it. They might not be able to see where you're coming from. They might not be able to envision what you envision. And so rather than get into it with them, I'm not saying to hide it from them. I'm just saying maybe if you talk about it, do it to a minimum level. You're ready to leap in on something and your partner, you know, maybe out of love, maybe out of care, maybe out of their own hang-ups, is saying to you, oh, maybe you should slow down, or maybe you shouldn't do this, or, oh, you know, what if it doesn't this, and what if it doesn't that, and what if it does this, what if it does that? And because it's the Seven of Wands, you might be like, I'm gonna shout you down. I'm gonna shoot down your idea. Shut up. I'm ready to do this. You have to find a way to balance that, you know, determined, jump into it energy with, okay, this person is my partner. They love me. I love them, and they want the best for me. Maybe that cautiousness is coming from a place of love, even if it is misguided or it's not helpful. And that's the challenging thing about love, right? Sometimes people say things and do things out of love, but they really don't realize don't come across that way. Oh, you know, my dear Nana, bless her. So, you know, can't believe that people pay you for what you do. Like, and it's not because she's being mean. It's not because she doesn't love me. It's just because she's from a very different era. She doesn't understand, you know, the way that the world works now. And, you know, in her day, fortune tellers were, you know, those strange people in the tent on the end of the pier. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for her to reconcile a business owner and somebody that's successful at what they do with that kind of work. And so this is why I say to you, she's not saying it to be mean. She's saying it from a place of love. Like, you know, why don't you go and get a real job? Why don't you be a plumber? Me? Can you imagine? Turn up in my pink overalls. Hey! I kid, but you get my point. So this is where, if you and your partner clash this week on an idea that you have, that may be where the challenge is coming up from. For those of you that are single, honestly, it looks like you're quite more focused on everything else, to be honest, right? You've got the Seven of Wands, so there could be a good laugh or a bit of banter. There may also be some concern coming from the friendship group or somebody that cares about you about some of the decisions that you're making. And, you know, this might be a week, Leo, where it's just your faith that carries you forward. And it's like, I can't show you what I can see, so I just have to build it. And then you'll have to see it when it's done. For your money and materials, you have the Strength card, right? Which is your card as a Leo. And this really encapsulates all of it for me. This is about you holding fast to a goal and sticking to something, and maybe there is an element of self-sacrifice this week. Maybe there is something that you can't do or can't be a part of. Maybe there's something you're having to lose out on, but you're doing so in the faith that I understand why I'm having to let this go. I understand why I'm not able to do this, this, and this. There's a sense that you know there's something else. The reward comes later. There is a sense of delayed gratification this week, which is really interesting. When it comes to your physical health and vitality this week, especially because the Four of Swords is here, I urge you, Leos, to slow down. Take your time. If your body says to rest, rest. If you're like this week, as I'm recording this, actually, I'm having a problem with my knee. And I'm chomping at the bit to get back to the gym. I just started going and feeling good and all the rest of it. And then this happened and I'm like, you know, the big part of me is like, just go, just go, just go. And then the saner head is like, well, you know, if you do that, you're probably going to end up having to take weeks out versus a couple of days. This energy speaks very much to that. And because the strength card is your back and your spine, remember, anything to do with those kinds of injuries, you're looking at a very long time to heal. Take the time when your body says to take the time. That being said, when it comes to your home and environment, this would be a really good week to plan, to brainstorm. This would be a really good week to get stuff down on paper so that it's out of your head and you can actually see it on the page. All right. With that said, I wish you all an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care and I'll see you soon.